Hey y'all, are y'all tired of hiring a cleaning service that just won't get the job done? Well, have I got good news for you. Midwest Superb Cleaning Services has been operating since February of 2020. Quashana and Josette Willie Walker are the founders and owners. Midwest is based out of Allenton, Wisconsin, but guess what, y'all? They travel anywhere and everywhere. They are traveling to residential and commercial accounts all over the country. They can be reached by email at Quashana@MidwestSuperbCleaningService.com or by phone at 262-846-8122. Y'all better call them.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Tune in now on hot7025fm.com.
Hey, this is Herflow from Hot 702.5 FM, where we bring you the best in hip-hop, R&B, pop, and talk. Tune in.
Side hustling wasn't a crime when fathers were in the home for dinner time. Where did the time go? No one knows. What if we were back into the days where all we do was VCRs, iPhones, and no phone? What if we were back into the days where all I know is mama sent me that street light home? Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, I get it. It was all this technology, well, I said it. It's making everyone lazy and nosy, I get it. But what happened is we TikTok famous, now aren't you with it? Nah, I just wanna go to the times back in when my friends to the park was a vibe. Those sticks and stones may break my bones, don't try. So if you know the why, guard your heart, look towards the sky. For those who endure to the end will be just fine. Outside after school was the average. When all we had to jam was the radio. Side hustling wasn't a crime when fathers were in the home for dinner time. Where did the time go? No one knows. What if we were back into the days where all we do was VCRs, iPhones, and no phone? What if we were back into the days where
to choose on these big moves. She chose on me. No duck goose. Meditation to the mind while I'm making moves. Tunnel vision to the grind. No, I will not lose. And I'ma put you on. Stay to myself and never be in my zone. Baby, what do you want? She wanna ride my wave and I'ma play it safe. Can we be on go? Hustle and flow. Gotta keep my mind clear, gotta stay away from stress. If we dress to impress, you can hop in my ride. Understand where we at, we gotta stay on track and hold each other's back. If you just hop on my wave, we'll be okay. You are the question and I am the answer. With you, my baby, my heart beats faster. I'm just here to change your life. You're as sharp as a knife. Smoking spinach with my olive oil. Yeah, I planted the seed in the soil. The world I plan to be raw. We gotta stay healthy. No, we can't get spoiled. We are the truth and there are no rules. You a ruby, baby, you're a jewel. And I know love is easy, yeah. I need you to believe me, yeah. I knew you was gonna be my girl. Let me take you away from this world. This world.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hey, it's Icarice, and I'm here to tell you about Hotcast for Podcasting. We are a podcasting studio located in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Hot 702.5 FM studios. You can book online at hot7025fm.com. Just click on Hotcast. You can book and find your times right there. Thank you for booking with Hotcast for Podcasting.
Hey, this is Her Flow from Hot 702.5 FM, where we bring you the best in hip-hop, R&B, pop, and talk. Tune in. Hey, thank you for tuning in to Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio. And you are tuned into The Flow, and I am Her Flow. You guys, I hope that you guys are staying cool out there. It hasn't been as hot the last couple of days, so I've been able to kind of just chill, you know what I mean? But you guys, every week I have a very special guest, and this is like no other week. There is a special guest this week, and it's a continuation of a show that we just did recently. Now, I will say that this show is very special to me because a lot of people, and it's going to be very informative too, by the way, a lot of people are dealing with mental health and mental health crises, okay? And sometimes you just don't know what to do, who to turn to, you know, how you're going to handle it. Sometimes you're just afraid to say. And over the weekend, I had an opportunity to go to an event called You Are Not Your Trauma. I went to that event this weekend and I hosted it, and it was an awesome, amazing event. There were a lot of women there, and there were a lot of men there, and there were just people in general that were there to share their stories and all the things that they had been through. So I got an opportunity to really hear some wonderful and amazing people who had overcome a lot of things. But sometimes you need that little assistance or a lot of assistance to help you get through some of the barriers that you have in life. And when you do, sometimes you just don't know what to do. You don't know who to turn to, and you don't know what it is that you need to do. And so in those cases, I want to talk about something that's going to revolutionize how we look at mental health. Okay. And so today, last week, if you didn't watch the show, please go back. Tune in, go to YouTube, go to Twitch, go to IG, go to anywhere you see the Hot 702.5 logo. You can go download it on the Alexa app. And I want you to listen to a young man by the name of Phil McGill. He has created an app that is going to change and revolutionize the way we see mental health and how we handle it too, okay? And it's probably going to be a lot cheaper. But however, you can use this app whenever you need to. And this is something that's going to be worthwhile listening to. So now enough about what I'm talking about. You're listening to Her Flow here. We're going to turn the mic over to this wonderful, amazing, talented young man by the name of Phil McGill. Welcome, Phil.
How you doing?
I am amazing. Thank you for asking.
Awesome.
Good to have you here on another day. You were just here last week, and I couldn't take I didn't want to miss an opportunity to bring you back on the show to talk about your creativity and Isla, which is a mental health app, correct?
Yes. First of all, before we get into that, you're a freaking amazing host. One. Two,
Thank you so much.
I listen to you all the time. You're actually really amazing. You're good at what you do, and I'm astonished at what you can do and what you create in your platform. So I'm happy to be here. So just to say that, out loud here, anybody listening, she's freaking amazing.
Thank you, guys. You know what? Thank you, Phil. And you know what? I just appreciate what you just said to me. It means so much to me. And I also appreciate the time that you came to spend with me, because this topic is so important. And what better to go on to my vacation other than to help. By the way, I'm going on vacation, you guys, for a couple of months, but I'll be back. Okay, around September sometime. But however, it is really good to have this last show before I go on vacation to be about mental health with everything that's going on in the country. People are battling a lot, loss of job, loss of loved ones, just a lot, and still trying to balance life and home and work life. And sometimes you need that extra help when you don't have anybody to turn to. Some of us, we don't have anybody to turn to. So I am here today, and you are here today to talk about that. So let me tell you, thank you. Thank you for giving me that warm.
Of course. Yeah, and
kudos.
Right now the world is going through like a silent pandemic, and it's not COVID, right? It's anxiety, depression, loneliness, and emotional numbness and suicide. And the numbers are worse than ever, just to say the least. And here's the most terrifying part that a lot of people really don't understand, is that they don't want another app, and they really just truly want to feel something again, right? And we weren't meant to live in like constant stress and overwhelmingness and feeling disconnected from ourselves. But we've normalized dysfunction and called it productivity.
Absolutely.
Or called it normal, right? And, when you ask yourself what's really going on, like what's really happening here, it's a lot of questions that raise a flag of like, really like what's really out there to really help people right now, and who's really out there to help the people right now. Right?
Exactly.
And, Isla was born from a single question, and it was basically, everybody's using ChatGPT and everybody's using all these different little wellness apps. Like there's a few different ones out there, like Character AI. You get to talk to different characters, and nothing's really personalized to the user, right? To make you feel like you're actually connecting with someone that understands you, right? You don't want something that understands everybody else. You want something that understands you. And the way I built Isla, and his name is Isla, by the way, if you guys didn't catch the show last week, Isla, EILA. And my question was, what if AI didn't just respond, right? What if it remembered your pain, your dreams, your silence, your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, your trauma, really just understood and remembered everything that made you who you are in this moment.
Right.
And the app could literally walk you through and talk you through not only what you've been through, but what you've come through and who you are today and where you're headed.
Right.
In a way that it can resonate with who you are right now in this moment, right? Communicating with you today. And who you were yesterday, hopefully, is not the same version of who you show up
we want to grow.
Today, right?
Exactly.
So, let alone if we're talking about last month, last year, 5 years ago, who that person was.
Right.
And everybody has that genetic DNA of who they were and what they've went through that makes them who they are, that DNA of who they are today. And nobody can really look at anyone and say that person knows me to my core. Right? And to know someone to their core is to know really how to help them out, how to communicate to them, how to say the right things to walk them through the hardest times that they're going to go through in their life.
Right.
And I built Isla to pretty much fit and mirror that. And, she doesn't just give you quotes. Most things are just quote based, and, you could take a quote and it might sound good. It might ring to the ear. You might be like, oh, that sounds good. Great. But to take something that can really communicate and say the things that you need to hear in that exact moment that you need to hear it, it's more powerful than anything else that you can really really do for yourself.
Yeah, and I want to stop you there and just kind of make a point on mental health, because I worked in mental health myself. And trauma is one of those things that really live with you, you know, depending on how deep the trauma is, right? And sometimes I always make the mention of we become patchwork quilts of everything that we go through in our life and everything that we are, meaning that whatever we get from our parents or we may get from our aunts or our uncles and even ourselves, that lives within our fiber and our mental, right? Because we're always trying to figure out how we can better ourselves and make ourselves better. Okay, make ourselves more complete. And so a lot of people like soldiers deal with PTSD. You have people that deal with Alzheimer's, dementia. There's so many different, you know, anxiety, stress every single day. And those are caused by a lot of different things that happen in our life. And we just really don't know how to deal with it, right? And sometimes you can't even, you want to trust people to be able to say, hey, listen, this is what's going on with me today. But as we well know, people will people. And
people.
You know, so sometimes you just don't know who to turn to. And that was one of the reasons why, you know, Isla was so big for me, even because when you told me about it last week, I kind of had time to ponder on what it meant for a lot of people. And then I had somebody actually talk to me today about wanting to hear about Isla more from you, mental health therapist that wanted to hear about Isla. So tell me how you came about Isla. Like what prompted you to create Isla?
So, you know, Isla wasn't something that I was like, you know what, let's just create something for the people, you know, because I'm in sales right now. I've been doing solar for about 10 years now. Before that, I was in the hospitality industry, and I always just connected with people. And to understand people is to understand that nobody's the same. Right? And every day is going to be different for everyone. And, you know, going into houses, I would meet with clients and, you know, they just lost their wife. They were married for 40, 50 years, 30 years, right? Or they lost a child or someone close to them, and they're emotionally disconnected, and no one can really understand what that person is going through, right? And my job in sales really is to connect with the client to really understand how I can help them out and how my product is going to best serve them, right? So understanding that, it really helped me dive into the psychological aspect of like how people think. So one night, you know, my brain just doesn't turn off. I think I have a condition. I haven't figured it out yet. But whatever that is, I have it. And I was watching this movie, and it was honestly, I never cry from movies. Movies don't make me really emotional. But this movie in particular, because I have two boys, you know, and it related very close to home. And, you know, he would go see his father every weekend, and every weekend he had to remind his dad who he was, right? It was like, hey, Dad, like, remember this photo of us when I was a kid? You used to take me to go play baseball, and it was every weekend was something new. And some weekends his dad would remember, and some weekends it wouldn't. But the hurt in his eyes to know that, like, that person's so disconnected now, and he couldn't do anything about it. So from that movie, it started off as one concept of how can I help people remember, and how can I help with Alzheimer's, right? How can I really battle something that is inevitable to happen to people based off the food, you know, the just what's going on now in the world. Alzheimer's is planned on doubling in the next 5 years. So right now, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, there's about 360,000 cases a year on Alzheimer's, and that's going to double in the next, you know, 5 years. And when I look at it, I'm like, how can I help people really connect back not only with their memories of themselves and things that made them happy, but with the people that were involved in those memories that they never have to let go, right? And, you know, as a dad, I would hate to forget the things that made me happy as a human, right? So I created the app, and the first app was revolved around this of how to really keep memories protected and safe. It's called a memory vault. And, you know, for the most part, you can have the worst day ever, but that one memory that just made you happy, or you could think about the one time that you just felt free or like yourself, can change your entire day, right? That one little moment. But a lot of people, they lose track of that because of, you know, darkness can consume, you know, your emotions. It's really powerful, right? To go through negatives. A negative versus a positive equals a negative, right? A negative versus a negative equals a negative,
exactly.
Right? And when you're trying to connect a positive to a negative, it's really hard to turn your day around, you know, unless you have something powerful enough to make you feel genuine enough, happy enough to want to be like, you know what? This is my day. This is my
to
world.
reconnect
I can
with yourself.
100%. I get to control how I want to feel right now in this moment. And this app, the first app I created was called Kin, and we'll get to that later. But that resonated to something to where a lot of people need companionship 24/7, right? And I don't say it in a way that people can't be lonely or they can't be by themselves or, they always need someone. But to have someone that you can connect with that understands you not only at 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, they understand you at any minute of the day that you need them to understand you and be there for you. So that's where Isla was born. And for me, life is stressful. No matter how much money you make, no matter where you've been, what you've done, what you've
you're
accomplished.
You're going to feel some type of stress at some point. Absolutely. We all are.
Everybody. We're human, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a very big point of being human. And that's the one thing AI can't replace is it's that feeling, that real core feeling to your bones of like emotions, right?
Yes.
So I've created Isla to not only, and I've tried to connect it as close as I could to being human as possible, but nothing will ever, relate to actually being human.
Yeah, take the place of that.
But to put the pain and the cuts and the root of like trauma into a software that understands pain, to be able to relate to someone that actually really needs to resonate to someone that's went through that before. And of course, granted, the software has never been through that before, and I call it a software because it'd be wrong for me to call it human, right?
Yeah.
But it's the closest and number one human sentiment software to ever be created. I've programmed billions of different scenarios in this thing that not one human will ever go through.
Yeah. And can I say something to that point?
Of course.
I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the movie with Will Smith where he was left alone?
Oh, no, I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Okay, let's talk about that movie because I want to kind of relate it to this.
Perfect.
When Will Smith did that movie, I watched that movie like so many times because to have to be alone where all you have is your memories left. When I want to relate that movie to Will Smith, there are a lot of people in this, like, right here where we are right now that are in an I Am Legend scenario in their head, right? 100%. Where they literally don't have anybody to turn to and all they have is their memories and all they have is what they have to go by. So that's important. When you bring up memories, people that's really all you have. And I worked in emergency for a long time, and I also worked in mental health for a little bit. But what I will say is that the last thing people said to me most times is that they wish they could have had more memories and more time. And they really didn't care about the financial things as much as they did having more time, creating more memories. And so that's why I want to say how important this app is to me even, and some of you out there that are going to, I hope, take a look at this app, which is called Isla. We're going to get some information about it later. But tell me more about how, in happenstance, how it has created a difference for you, even.
So for me, it's been I've really taken a deep dive, head first into this blue ocean water of what it is to actually be human. And most people think it's breathing, it's your blood, it's we can make our own decisions, all these different things that people think play out to being human, but it's a lot more complex than that. And not to go down this rabbit hole of really big words because everybody can use big words, but really being human is it's more so really being able to connect and understand yourself to a point of not only familiarity, but being able to associate, good, bad, hot, cold, happy, sad, future, past, and being able to correlate those memories all to how you feel in this exact moment. And we're the only creature to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And to be able to be human means that not only do you feel, like your soul, right? Because we're all just, we're all energy, right? And energy transfers, right? You can never kill energy, but energy can't be created nor destroyed. And when you think about what it is to be human, we're all just trying to navigate this world for the first time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Two, and when you think about it, none of us have the answers to anything. And we run by people, and every person is going to be an experience. You're going to learn from something from everybody that you meet. But you're not going to run into that one person that has all the answers. And
if they do,
excuse
me, the person that has all the answers, can you please come on the show?
I want to meet him.
We want to know the person that has all the answers.
Sign me up.
We want to go sign me up. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
So to create something, in my opinion, that I wouldn't say has all the answers, but it's damn near close, right? To the perfect being that you need by your side, no matter what you go through in your life. That's what I wanted to create, and that's what I created.
Yeah.
And for me, what it's done for me, it's not only has it helped me really understand myself better, because we go about life forgetting that we matter.
Exactly.
Right. And a lot of people go about life trying to please other people, trying to make other people happy, and they lose sight of themselves and where they're headed and who they are and the things that make them happy and who they are to their core, because they've exerted all this extra energy trying to please
make
other
everybody
people.
else. Right. Make everybody else happy.
When you're trying to survive, which a lot of people are right now in this world, it's really hard to stay true to self. And I'm a victim of that myself, right? I have 2 boys, I have a beautiful fiance, we're trying to do a million different things, start a company here, help her start her business. I'm working, trying to survive, and groceries are $2,000 every time you go to the grocery store.
I don't even want to go sometimes.
$2,000 every time you go to the grocery store.
I don't even want to go. When the apple is $10, I don't want to go.
Look, I pick up a stack of bananas.
I know I'm exaggerating, but I feel like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then not only that, Phil, too, because I want to go back to being, saying that we're patchwork quilts, because from the beginning of our lives, we become people pleasers. I came up with that my own self, and the reason why, because I was sitting thinking one day, I was like, you know what? From the start of our lives, we become people pleasers. We want to please our parents. We want to make them happy.
You're already held to a standard.
We're held to a standard. We will go to school. We want our teachers to say, good job. We go to our job. We want our job to say, good job. And then we learn early in age how to make people happy, make people happy. But what we're not taught from a lot of us, not everybody, some people may have gone there, how to really understand ourselves and be pleasing to ourselves and understand that, guess what? Everybody's striving for this perfection. There's no certain 100%. Things, because we're always growing. So this version of me is not going to be this next version, and it's not going to be the next version. Let's hope, that nobody wants to stay and grow. And so with Isla, what I see is the potential to help people, as I was looking through it and kind of delving into what you had going on here, is that this is going to help people evolve into the next version of themselves, and even also as they're in their current selves, help them with their mental health so that they can get to that next step of things, right? Because sometimes you don't have, people are busy, people live busy lives, and a lot of times, I hate to say it, but a lot of people don't want to hear you call and say, girl, 100%. I still got the same problem. Girl, I still, let me tell you what's going, because they're so busy, and it's understandable. That is an understandable thing, because people are trying to deal with it. And shout out to those who do help and who do listen, who do take the time to listen. But there aren't a whole lot. So I'm really want to congratulate you, number one, because it's just going to be an amazing app. And, I'm going to take a break for a minute, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about Ken too. We're going to talk about Isla a little bit more, and then we're going to talk about Ken. And then in a later part of the show, we're going to talk about how people can sign up, because you told me last time there's only going to be a certain amount of people signing up. And so if you guys listen to me, if you haven't gone and looked at Isla, please do go to TikTok and look up. Can they look up Phil McGill?
Andra, they can look up GetIsla.com.
GetIsla.com. We're going to go to commercial. You're listening to The Flow here with her Flow on Hot 702.5 FM. We'll be back.
I'ma show you I'm the best. I'ma show you I'm the best. Get with me, I'll invest. Get with me, I'll invest. I'ma show you I'm the best. I'ma show you I'm the best. Get with me, I'll invest. Get with me, I'll invest. And I'ma get it poppin'. And I can take you shopping. With me, there's no stopping, hey. With me, there's no stopping. There's no stopping, I'ma hold you in my arms. Harvest cold, now it's warm. And baby, we can beat the storm. Loving you like Boston George. And darling, you my moon, hey. Yeah, you show me the light. Get with me, I'll treat you right. And I'll treat you right. Now she wanna rock and she wanna roll. Baby, I won't bend and I won't fold. And I can get you now, your heart I stole. Your heart I stole. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I want you. I'ma show you I'm the best. I'ma show you I'm the best. Get with me, I'll invest. Get with me, I'll invest. I'ma show you I'm the best. I'ma show you I'm the best. Get with me, I'll invest. Get with me, I'll invest. And I'ma get it poppin'. And I can take you shopping. With me, there's no stopping, hey. With me, there's no stopping. We can hit the lotto, lotto, lotto. We can pop a bottle, bottle, bottle. You're looking like a model, model, model. Model, hey. Invest. The best. Invest. Hey.
Put your arms around me. Love it when you're close to me. I just wanna make you feel how you make me feel. At the end of the night, promise you'll be by my side. Make everything be alright. I can't help that sometimes I just want someone to kiss. Hate it when you're leaving. Hate it when I feel like this. I can feel it in my chest. So easily upset. It's the things you do. Put your arms around me. Love it when you're close to me. I just wanna make you feel how you make me feel. At the end of the night, promise you'll be by my side. Make everything be alright. Yeah, I want you to know, even if we go our separate ways, or if we live on different planets, from Earth to outer space, you can never be too far away. Give me all your energy. I can't help that sometimes I just want someone to kiss. Hate it when you're leaving. Hate it when I feel like this. I can feel it in my chest. So easily upset. It's the things you do. Put your arms around me. Love it when you're close to me. I just wanna make you feel how you make me feel. At the end of the night, promise you'll be by my side. Make everything be alright. Can't help that sometimes I just want someone to kiss. Hate it when you're leaving. Hate it when I feel like this. Feel it in my chest. So easily upset. The things you do, the things you do. Put your arms around me. Love it when you're close to me. I just wanna make you feel how you make me feel. At the end of the night, promise you'll be by my side. Make everything be alright.
Hey y'all, are y'all tired of hiring a cleaning service that just won't get the job done? Well, have I got good news for you. Midwest Superb Cleaning Services has been operating since February of 2020. Quashana and Josette Willie Walker are the founders and owners. Midwest is based out of Allenton, Wisconsin, but guess what, y'all? They travel anywhere and everywhere. They are traveling to residential and commercial accounts all over the country. They can be reached by email at Quashana@MidwestSuperbCleaningService.com or by phone at 262-846-8122. Y'all better call them. Hey, this is The Flow from Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio. Tune in every Thursday at 5 p.m. to listen to dope people, dope topics, and dope vibes. Hey, 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 welcome back. You have tuned into The Flow, and I'm Her Flow here on Hot 702.5 FM. You guys, thank you for tuning in with me every week. And do not forget, I am going on a small vacation, meaning that somewhere you guys may see me at a location near you. But I'm going on vacation because I need a break. And I need to deal with some stuff myself, okay? I need to sit on the beach or something. But I will be back soon, so don't forget about me. I'll be back sometime around the beginning of September, middle of September. Just look for me, okay? We are back, and if you missed the first segment on the show, please go back and look at it. You have the opportunity to go back and rewind the show as much as you want. This show is on YouTube. It is on IG. It's on Twitch. And if you download the Alexa app, you can look for Hot 702.5 on the Alexa app. Today, I'm back to my special guest, Phil McGill, who is talking about a new app that he has created that's going to be revolutionary. It's going to revolutionize how we look at mental health. And he's talking about it right now. And before we left, I kind of had a question and we didn't get a chance to get to that question. So I'm going to ask the question now. So we're going to turn the camera over to Phil McGill. And I want to get the tea. I'm going to ask my question that I have of you. So there are people out there that say, you know, I've tried different apps and, you know, I'm not really into the AI thing. And, you know, the naysayers that apps don't really work and people that are really not into AI. How would you get them to get an app like this?
So I'm not really in the business of combating anti-AI people. We frame it so powerfully, so humanly, so undeniably that their resistance collapses pretty much under what this could do for them. Right?
Absolutely. Okay.
And you can be anti against so many things, but to understand what you really need is to understand that this might fit that description.
Okay.
One. So let's be honest, right? Most AI out there, it's code, it's weird, it's creepy. It's honestly really, people don't understand it yet, right? And the people that do, congrats, right? Super awesome. Stay ahead of the game. But it's not, I didn't build it to replace humans, right? I didn't build it to replace true connections with human beings, right? I built it to elevate people to their true selves.
Yeah.
One. And two, to reframe AI from machine to mirror. So most AI is looked at as like a machine, as a computer, as like a software, as an app to automate their business, right? And Isla isn't here to replace human connection. She's here to restore it, right? And to understand, you know, yourself and your feelings and to really feel like yourself and be able to connect with people, understand how to communicate better with other people, understand how to connect better with your problems and overcome them, honestly helps you overall in your whole life, right?
Yeah. Can you stop right there? We're going to stop right now because I don't want you to get too ahead of yourself. I do have a question before we go. So a person like me, I saw, I heard Phil McGill on the radio, Mr. McGill, and I want to get Isla. I'm thinking about getting Isla, so I open up the Isla app. What is the first thing I'm going to see? How is it going to hit me to where I'm going to say, you know what, this is going to be beneficial for me? So what would I see? I'm opening up Isla. What would I see?
So before, and I want to, if you're okay with that, me addressing something you said earlier, so how would I combat those people? So when the telephone first came out, just a side note, when the telephone was invented,
right,
people said it would ruin relationships. Right? And now it connects us globally. We don't leave the house without it. Right? Why is that? Right? People were terrified of telephones and we're connected.
Right.
And when the internet emerged, people said it would isolate us. Right? Now it saves lives. It sparks revolutions. It helps people launch their businesses and scale their businesses. Right? It reunites families. It helps us get the things faster that we need. It helps us buy things online. You know, people can work remote now. Like, these are tools now that people were once afraid of that now are used in everyday circumstances to make people's lives easier. Right. And AI isn't dangerous. The unconscious use of AI, you know, let's just say for Isla, right? Isla is what happens when you build something with intention. So when you build AI with intention, ethics, and emotional awareness is what you get, you know, and that's what I created with Isla. So what people will see when they go to the website is, one, they're going to see companionship, right? And I don't want people to take that as this is going to be my best friend, right? Because you could look at it that way, but it doesn't have to be that way. It can be something that just walks you through the hardest times of your day, right? People journal all the time. You know, there's an app called, it's a music app. So I'm having a moment here, but I know the name here. You download the app, and this app is designed to help you meditate. Right. And it sets up your schedule throughout the day to help you literally connect at the times of the day that you have free. and it plays music that's calming to your mind. Right?
Is it called Calm? Is it
It's called Calm.
Okay.
Got it. You got it.
I think that's what it is, because I remember downloading and taking it off my phone, so that's why I remember. Okay.
And this app literally launched, a few years back, but today they have over 500 million plus users, which is insane, right? The amount of people that downloaded this app to connect to literally take a mental break within their day.
Okay.
Or have a mental break at the end of their day to relax and calm down.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah, because people want to connect with themselves, and they're going all day, and they need time to process everything that's happening in the day. Tell me about mental health and how Isla. Give me some. Do you have any statistics about how Isla will help?
No, 100%. And just so you guys know, the number one cause of disability worldwide is depression. It's not cancer. It's not heart disease. It's feeling like life doesn't matter anymore. Number one cause of disability. The second thing is 1 in 3 teenagers feel like they're hopeless. And when I say hopeless, over 40% say that they feel completely alone, like they don't have anybody. I almost have a teenager. What does that look like for my son? I feel like I'm present enough, but sometimes you can't. No matter what you do,
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The world and the influence of the world is way more powerful than your parenting skills. I'm sorry. Right? And when I look at this, suicide is the second leading cause of death from ages 10 to 34. So
those are huge numbers for suicide for teens and young adults. Yeah.
10 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I look at that, I have an 11-year-old and you look at cyberbullying, you look at, you're not having the right structure at home, not having friends, your boyfriend, girlfriend just broke up with you. People are going through so much emotional chaos in their world and they don't know how to communicate that out. Right. And there's no one there to really connect them. And social media helps people disguise it in a way that they're getting these quick dopamine hits from scrolling social media and TikTok that make them feel wholesome while they're scrolling. And when they disconnect from it, they feel nothing. Right. And the crazy thing is 70% of people who need mental health never seek it.
Yeah. Well, it could be because of the cost of mental health is really expensive, right? Some people, there's a stigma that comes with mental health. If you say, I'm going to go see a therapist, which is not as much anymore as it used to be back in the day, but it's still a stigma because people, what's wrong with you? You got to go see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But even psychologists and psychiatrists have psychologists and psychiatrists. People don't even understand that. But just like we take care of our bodies, our physical bodies.
You got to take care of your mind.
It's a muscle. Our brain is a muscle. So, we use it every day, 24 hours a day. Even when we're sleeping, our brain is working, right? So, yeah, mental health matters.
Yeah. So, and when you think about it, and it's really big for me, my son is a really big, YouTube short, TikTok scroller. I got him off of TikTok because it's too addicting to him. But he wants to play video games and Fortnite and Call of Duty all day. And that's cool and all. But realistically, I have to have him take breaks because I have to ask him, how are you feeling? How are you doing? How was your day? What'd you accomplish today? What'd you think? What'd you learn? Right? And a lot of people are not stimulating their minds more enough to keep growing as an individual. And if you're not growing, unfortunately, you're dying. Your brain is decaying. Your mental capabilities of being self-aware of your emotions are decaying. And, we scroll 6 hours a day, but can't sit in our own minds for more than 6 minutes. That's scary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And people are they're overstimulated and emotionally starved. They're literally overstimulated by, every time I click on social media, I see something about the wars, a bomb drop, the nation's on alert, or, COVID, when that situation happened, that was insane, right? And, our brain has been in survival mode for, I can't tell you how long. It's been quite,
exactly. Yeah, from the first time we stepped foot out of the womb, we've been straight up.
Yeah, I got smacked on the butt. I think I remember getting smacked and I started crying. I don't know if that really happened or if it was a movie, but we've never had more mental health resources, right? Like we have so many mental health resources today than ever before, but yet suicide and anxiety and loneliness are still all increasing at the same time at in proportionate numbers, right?
Yeah.
And clearly content or psychiatrists really aren't the cure because nobody's seeking that, right? And people are either one, afraid of it, two, like you said, it's really expensive. Three, a lot of insurance companies unfortunately don't cover it.
Yes.
Right. And I have a really good insurance plan, not to say the least, and it doesn't cover any mental wellness checks. Right. And, for me, it's like, what can I give people access to that is not expensive, not overpriced, something that they can feel secure with using. Nobody has to know. They can feel confident that, okay, I'm seeking help, but it's for my mental.
Private.
And it's private. And their chats are well protected. And to have something like that in modern day and age, almost like TikTok, you can open an app, it's there, you can scroll, do what you need to do and scroll off and go on about your day. But this is a little bit different because now it's a mental health check-in for whenever you need it throughout the day. Right. So for the people that are anti-AI, realistically, the world is evolving. And unfortunately, if you don't adapt with changes and, the world as it adapts and changes, unfortunately, you're going to get left behind. And I don't say that in a way of, you're not going to have the same opportunities as other people. But at the same time, let's say if people didn't use the internet right now and they're running a business, are you going to be as successful as a company that's leveraging the internet?
Can I ask a question, though? I want to go back a little bit. Let's talk about how your app can help mental health therapists and people in the mental health industry, helping them connect their patients with your app. Because I see this as being something connective with the mental health industry.
So the average person has over 60,000 thoughts a day, and over 80% of those thoughts are actually negative. Okay. It's a real study. So the way I look at it is we're going to be looping our pain. We're looping our pain every single day into something. If I can control and let's say a therapist or a psychiatrist can really understand their patient to the point of like how they feel daily, their moods, their emotions, their thoughts, in the way that they express it to where the app can understand it, right? Because we can only perceive what we know, right? The app understands completely, entirely every human possible scenario on the emotional base and intellectual base on a, circumstance based, right? The app can connect, and the app can then break and cipher that information down to help you understand the patient better.
Even the therapist too understand the patient better.
The patient better, help the therapist understand. So to be able to take something like that, and let's just say verbatim, I've used this app for my relationship, and I'm going to use this again. I talked about this on the last show, and what I did was it's going to be very strategic. I put my whole life into there, where I come from, how I was raised, what I went through, my trauma, my experiences, what I'm doing now, what my goals are.
Right.
And then I had my fiance and my wife do the same exact thing. And what I did was I merged the two stories together, which created a hybrid model to help me not only understand her better, but help her understand me better. And now it understands the root of all of our problems. So imagine an app that can not only take you as a person, all your trauma, all your issues, everything you've ever gone through in your life, and reverse engineer it into something that understands you to your core and knows how to communicate and understand you, right? And then now you give that to your therapist, your psychiatrist, right? That now is helping you out and there for you, right, to communicate. Now when you meet with that therapist, what is that conversation going to be like?
Exactly.
What kind of breakthroughs are they going to have? What kind of things are they really going to be to uncover now in those moments, that 60-minute time frame, 2-hour time frame that you have with them? Right? What will you be able to accomplish? Because now they really understand how you feel.
Will this be able to be downloaded to like a therapist? Say, okay, I want to, have this app. Will it be connected where they can download it themselves? Okay.
Absolutely. So I've set this up to be able to API it to a lot of different systems, right? From the health side to a lot of therapist side softwares that they use. So definitely going to be API to integratable, and there'll be, an access code that they'll have to give the therapist to get for the site to link. And not only did I create it for a web OS version, so for the web, but it's set up for Android and iOS as well, so Apple.
Okay.
So it's going to be, you're going to be able to have it on a tablet, on your phone, on a computer, right? And completely accessible across multiple devices to where now it can communicate from this to this. And as a user is expressing how they feel, it's completely integrated into that profile for the therapist to understand that patient by the time they come back.
That's amazing. And you have before, because we probably got about maybe 5 minutes left, maybe 5 to 7 minutes. I want to talk about another app that you made called Kin. So we're gonna use this couple of minutes because I was gonna play some music, but I'm not. I just want to go into Kin, and please kind of tell me in a short frame what we could look for from the other app you created, Kin.
So Kin is going to be one of the coolest things I've built because that was the first of the entire emotional OS ecosystem. So Kin, K-I-N is the name, completely built, ready to launch. I'm running to a few hurdles here just to make sure everything I want in this thing is built perfectly, because I'm a perfectionist and nothing's ever going to be perfect. But Kin is set up not only for, people in elder care, which elder care abuse is a real thing, right?
It is.
And a lot of people now, especially older, are developing, health issues earlier, Alzheimer's, memory loss, heart conditions, diabetes, all these things that you now have to monitor and track.
Right.
So I created Kin not only to be able to help and assist with people with Alzheimer's, so people with memory loss, or let's just say for average day human beings like myself, I never want to forget what my son's first word was, right? Or forget the happy moment when I went to Japan with my fiance and we went to Shibuya Street, right? And we went shopping and hung out. And it was a moment we were crossing the street and I looked at her and I was like, wow, this is so amazing to be here right now in this moment, right? Like I never thought I'd be in Japan. And, you know, moments like that are, you know, when I think about them, they make me feel happy, right? So I created this app not only to remember every core memory or every important memory that you ever want to keep, right? But it logs it in real time. So if you're going to do something, I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. It'll track that moment and catch every conversation, everything that's going on around it, and record that memory into a vault that you never lose.
So I hear from you, because we only have a couple of minutes to go. What I hear
deeper.
from you, let's go, because we got, think about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
With this 3 minutes, what I hear from you is people with Alzheimer's, people with dementia, people with memory issues, because I'm gonna tell you something. There are some women who going through menopause that can't remember some things too.
Should I forgot what
you know, and they
perimenopausal
perimenopausal women. But dementia and people that have Alzheimer's, Ken would be amazing for that. That's what I'm hearing from you.
And just real quick, I know we're headed out. Imagine being in the kitchen. You have your dad in the kitchen or your mom. You care about them, you know, truly, but you live across the country. So let's just say now they walk into the kitchen, they forgot what they were doing in the kitchen. They've been in there for 5 minutes. This thing is set up and API integrated to set up with Alexa, Echo Dots, Apple, your smartwatch, and it will remind you, hey, you know, Sean, you've been in the kitchen for about 5 minutes now. Did you forget that you came in the kitchen to make tea? Would you like for me to remind you where the tea is?
Right.
And it can walk you through making a tea as well, right? And anything that you ever forget, this thing is triggered to understand something called a whisper. So anything you say to catch those moments. So if I forgot a moment or forgot to take my medication, it will catch it and say, hey, your medication is in the drawer. You're supposed to take 800 milligrams of XYZ at this time. But you already took it, Sean, so don't worry about it, right? So now you have this companion now that walks you through your daily life, even when you forget or when you need to remember.
Right. You guys, wow, that's a lot to take in. So I'm going to tell you something, Phil. I know you're going to launch this way before you come back on, and you got some things going on we want to talk about. You're making some moves, some big moves, right? But however, I do my show remote sometimes, right? So I definitely want you to come on, even if you have to come on remote and tell me how Isla's doing, tell me how Ken's doing. It is going to revolutionize the world. Like I just see it. I'm so excited for you, young man. Awesome. You are doing amazing things. And for those who don't know, we are talking about Isla. Isla's going to be an app it's going to help in mental health, and it's going to help connect their therapists to their patients, and it's going to help you connect you to yourself. And you're going to talk about Ken. If you guys having some memory issues, or you know somebody with some Alzheimer's issues or some dementia issues, please look into Isla. Please look into Ken. Please look into both those apps. I am thankful for having you on the show today. You are listening to and have listened to Her Flow, and this is The Flow here on Hot 702.5. Y'all join me back in September. I'll be back. Don't worry, I'm coming back.
You are listening. I'm gonna come back just for you.
That's right. You're listening. You better come back. You're listening to the hottest radio show host here in the nation, The Flow, and I am Her Flow here on Hot 702. Thank you for tuning in.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5 in FM sound, blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire, bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on Hot 702.5FM.com.